Jai Bhagwan. Good afternoon, everyone. And I welcome all of you to Bhagwan's Silent Sunday Soulful Meetings. I am Dr. Pallavi Quatra. I am from Delhi. And I have taken this opportunity to host this meeting for all of us where we can bask in the grace of Sri Bhagwan. And I'm very grateful for all of you who've taken out time on this Sunday afternoon to be here. I'm also grateful to Mr. Virendra Sharma and his family, his daughter Dipali, who are actually hosting this meeting in their home. I'm also deeply grateful to Mr. Sandeep and Bhairav Duttji for helping in choreographing the technical support for this meeting. I'm a doctor by profession, and I was touched by Sri Bhagwan's grace in the year 2014. Right from that moment, this touch, which had no sound, it was a silent golden Midas touch that only has left me more and more transformed in the past years, the gratitude for which is beyond expression of words. When saints like Sri Bhagwan actually come into a spiritual seeker's life, there is deep inner transformation that happens. And there are experiences that cannot be voiced, told, or intellectualized. One has to only go through them, one has to experience them, one has to allow them. And as one's journey is guided by the Guru, more and more grace starts to flow. One can actually feel the palpable change in one's thoughts, in the way that his life occurs, unfolds. And it is absolutely magical to be in this ambit of grace, which does not speak to you, which does not lecture you, which does not give you any instruction. And yet it creates such deep impacts on who we are. So the connection with the Guru is actually eternal. It is not related to either the devotee or the Guru being the body. It does not matter whether the Guru is in the body, because as we are seeing with so many saints, their presence has become more and more powerful even after they have left the body. In fact, more powerful now than ever before. So many of us are drawn to them like how a magnet pulls all the particles that are in its orbit. So Sri Bhagwan is that magnetic silence that actually pulls all of us and takes away the ability of the mind to conceptualize. It only creates a void where grace just flows into that void. So that's what I am very humbled to host this for you, so that all of us can share this space for sharing our experiences and also for uh, trying to voice our beautiful connection with Sri Bhagwan. I'm going to be sharing a small ode called the Guru Ashtakam, which is actually a wonderful hymn or a tribute to the Guru. So I will be just sharing the screen with you for a short video. Please wait. Is my screen visible to all? Okay, okay.
शरीरं सुरूपं यथा वा कलत्रं यशश्चारुचित्रं धनं मेरुतुल्यं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे मनश्चेन लग्नं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं कलत्रं धनं पुत्रपौत्रादि सर्वं गृहं बान्धवा सर्वमेतद्धि जातं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे मनश्चेन
hope that all of us have enjoyed this beautiful and ancient hymn, which is such a tribute to the Guru. No matter what we have in our life, the best of relationships, the maximum wealth, health, everything. But this hymn has reminded us that our connection with the Guru is our devotion at the lotus feet of the Guru is actually what is the driving point for everything that we do. So all our possessions are null and void when compared to our connection with the Guru. So I also want to share this beautiful website that has been made around 5 years back as a devotional offering to Sri Bhagwan. All of you can make use of this website. This is a large database for Sri Bhagwan's information, resources, beautiful testimonials given by devotees. This is a website by the devotees and for the devotees. So here the idea was to actually create a platform which helps all of us to pour in our devotional tributes for Sri Bhagwan. So as you can see in this website is called myramanamaharishi.com. I'd request Sandeep to put up the link in the chat box. You can access this website. This talks about a lot about Sri Bhagwan, about his a detailed description of his timeline and all the major events that happened. A lot of time and hard work has gone into writing this long and lengthy and detailed idea about those, for those who want to know more about the important events of Sri Bhagwan's life. Then there is a lot about the teachings of Bhagwan and about Arunachala, which is the Shiva Swarupa that actually is the magnetic pull that even drew Bhagwan into its ambit. Then there is a mention about my 5 favorite devotees of Sri Bhagwan. So you can read up detailed blogs on each one of them and get to know about these legendary devotees like Kavyakantha, Ganapati Muni, and Kao Lakshmi. And you will be inspired in your devotion when you read about the nishtha of these sadhaks. And then there is this testimonial section, which actually has experiences, real experiences from people across the globe on how their own lives were touched by Bhagwan. So it's very moving to read these living experiences by real people. These are of modern times, like, you know, people like us who are unaware and who just get caught in the jaws of Sri Bhagwan. That's what I'd say. Never to be left behind, never to be abandoned ever again in our life. We may forget that we encountered this force in our life, but this force is such that it never forgets. This shade is such that it never abandons. So these testimonials can be made use of. There's a very rich collection of blogs that have been contributed by many people. So I kindly request you to spend a good amount of time in reading one blog, maybe once in a day or something like that. I'm sorry for the disturbance from outside. It's just not in our control. So kindly bear with that. These are beautiful audios and videos which have been contributed by devotees. So there are many sadhaks who are into classical singing, into classical dances. So we have used this platform in the best way to actually bring forth these audios and video contributions by many devotees across the world. You can see that. Then there are these art contributions. So we do have artists who love to show their devotion through photographs, digital photographs, and through their paintings. So those have been put together in the art contributions. In the resource and feedback section, you're going to find about 100 free books of Sri Bhagwan for free downloads, which you can make use of. There's a rich resource library that has been created here with collections. So many books of Sri Bhagwan and Advaitic teachings are available for you to read, enjoy, and share with your friends. Then there are important links. This is also a very valuable resource feedback where you will get to see many important links, other website links which you can land on and which you can actually use for. So it's like a, you can spend years on this website actually, that the way that it has been created, so that it enables whenever you feel that you want to go deeper into this knowledge or this grace, then you can just open the website, read a little, and let it seep into you. It's not about reading or knowing too much, but it's about just retaining and reclaiming that connection with Bhagwan. So I hope that this website helps you in some way. And I would just like to share another short video here. Just give me a moment. Is my screen visible for the video? Okay, I am playing this very short 1 minute video that was curated, which has certain wonderful pictures of Sri Bhagwan with some words to, very few words to keep inspiring you. Enjoy it. Thank you very much for all your patience, and you've all been muted. So I hope that that's okay. And there will come a time where I will invite participants also to share. So this meeting is divided into three parts. In the first part, we are going to be doing some book readings from beautiful books that will help us grasp the love and intentions of Sri Bhagwan. So we have three readers who will do brief readings from their own books. After the book readings, we will be inviting participants to share their own experiences with Sri Bhagwan. And followed by that, the last part of the meeting is going to be the silent satsang, where we are going to observe a few minutes of silence and let the meeting fade off into that. So I'm just going to be sharing my read up. So this is the book that I'm using. There are many books that are available in Ramanashram library, and those can be ordered online also worldwide. And I chose this book because this holds a very special meaning for me, especially today on Mother's Day. A happy Mother's Day to all of you. So Bhagwan is basically the universal mother for all of us. And uh, this book is like, it's for children primarily, I feel, but I liked it a lot because it spoke about the motherly love of Sri Bhagwan for Cow Lakshmi. I don't know if many of you may not know about Cow Lakshmi, so I will brief you a little bit about her. So Cow Lakshmi was a very blessed soul, a very blessed devotee. Sri Bhagwan is known to offer the grace of Samadhi to three beings in their lifetime. One of them being an animal who was so devout to the Guru that liberation or mukti was possible even in that mortal coil. This is the true example of how Nishtha and how our own surrender and devotion can make anything happen. So Cow Lakshmi was very devout to Bhagwan and often was a part of the everyday satsangs that happened. She barged her way through the crowd, never caring for what and who what thinks. And she had the special privilege of being fed by Bhagwan always before other devotees. And a lot of motherly love and affection was seen in many events in their lifetime. For almost 30 years, she lived in the ashram and bowed to Bhagwan. And at her end, she was graced with liberation by the mere touch and presence of Sri Bhagwan in her last time. So I'm going to read a short paragraph of how Cow Lakshmi used to greet visitors. And I really want to show you the very wonderful pictures that are drawn here. You can get this book from Ramanashram if you like. It's available there. Uh, so the pictures are very pretty because they are like for children. So they have that purity of connection. So this extract is from this book called The Life of Cow Lakshmi, and this chapter is called Greeting Visitors. One day, a gentleman entered the ashram grounds with a large cluster of hill bananas to offer to Bhagwan. Not noticing the young cow planning her assault nearby, he was suddenly ambushed from the rear. With blinding speed, a huge bunch of bananas was snatched from his hands and a half gulped down before he knew what had hit him. Devotee says, "Hey you, somebody, this cow has stolen Bhagwan's bananas." "Oh, hi, what? Help, it's charging me." So the ashramite says, "What's going on?" Devotee says, "This cow has taken the bananas that I brought for Bhagwan. Please drive it away." Ashramite says, "Drive it away? Do you know who this is? This is Bhagwan's beloved Lakshmi." Second ashramite, who was standing nearby and is amused at the scene, says, "Yes, indeed, this is Lakshmi, who is fed by Bhagwan's own hands. I have seen Bhagwan serve her idlis, paisam and vadai all on a banana leaf, just as if she were a human devotee." Ashramite, "Yes, Lakshmi is served food first, others come afterwards." Meanwhile, polishing off the last of her banana loot, Lakshmi is flattered to be the subject of so much discussion. The others continue with the discussion. Ashramite says, "You came here with fruit for Bhagwan, didn't you? Don't worry, offering them to Lakshmi is the same as offering them to Bhagwan." Second ashramite says, "Yes, even if you offer the fruit to Bhagwan, he will just give it to Lakshmi." Devotee, "In that case, I suppose it's all right. I am sorry." Chinnaswamy approaches, overhearing this conversation. Chinnaswamy jokingly says, "Oh dear sir, today you are blessed. Gomata has eaten your offering. We can only thank God that the monkeys didn't get them." Ashramite, "That's right. Here in the ashram, there are plenty of animals, all of Bhagwan's family. Those bringing offerings for Bhagwan have to guard them with their life, and even that may not be enough." Chinnaswamy says, "Here in the ashram, you learn to be vigilant, on guard from the front, the rear, below, and above. At any moment, something might land on your head. Am I not right, Swami? The ashramite smiles and all join in the fun. So I found this to be a very touching episode, and I wanted to share it with you on Mother's Day. I'm now requesting Miss Dipali to share the next book reading. Dipali, thank you so much. Please start.
Namaste. I'm Deepali and I'm a lawyer by profession. And I've been reading a book called Self-Realization, The Life and Teachings of Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi. I'm reading this passage from chapter 18. It's called Instruction to F.H. Humphreys, and it is on attainment, religion, and God. And if time permits, we will also talk about realization. Attainment. One gets no reward for attainment. Then one understands the idea that one does not want a reward. As Krishna says, ye have the right to work, but not to the fruit thereof. Perfect attainment is simply worship, and worship is attainment. If you sit down and realize that you only think by virtue of the one life, and that the mind animated by that one life into the act of thinking is a part of the whole, which is God, then you argue your mind out of existence as a separate entity, and the result is that mind and body physically disappear. And the only thing that remains is being, which is at once in existence and non existence, and not explainable in words or ideas. A master cannot help being perpetually in this state, with only this difference that in some, to us, incomprehensible way, he can use mind, body, and intellect without falling back into the delusion of having a separate consciousness. Religion. It is useless to speculate, useless to try, and take a mental or intellectual grasp to work from that. That is only religion, a code for children and for social life, a guide to help us to avoid shocks, so that the inside fire may burn up the nonsense in us and teach us a little sooner common sense. That is, a knowledge of the delusion of separateness. Religion, whether it be Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, theosophy, or any other kind of ism or sophy or system, can only take us to the one point where all religions meet and no further. God. That one point where all religions meet is the realization, in no mystical sense, but in the most worldly and everyday sense, and the more worldly and everyday and practical the better, of the fact that God is everything and everything is God. From this point, the work of the practice of this mental comprehension begins. And all it amounts to is the breaking of a habit. One has to cease calling things things and must call them God. And instead of thinking them to be things, must know them to be God. Instead of imagining existence to be the only thing possible, must realize that this phenomenal existence is the only creation of the mind, that non-existence is a necessity if you are going to postulate existence.
I guess that there was some issue with the voice, and can somebody just tell us that what is the problem? Okay, the voice is echoing. Okay. Uh, was it actually audible? Do you want us to repeat this reading? So let's try the voice once.
That one point where all religions meet is the realization, in no mystical sense, but in the most worldly and everyday sense, and the more worldly and everyday and practical, the better. Heard now? Sorry for interrupting, but okay. So then I'm going to continue and repeat the reading because I guess it from the starting. Do I read from the starting? Yes, please start. All right. Attainment. One gets no reward for attainment. Then one understands the idea that one does not want a reward. As Krishna says, ye have the right to work, but not to the fruit thereof. Perfect attainment is simply worship, and worship is attainment. If you sit down and realize that you only think by virtue of the one life, and that the mind, animated by the one life into the act of thinking, is a part of the whole which is God, then you argue your mind out of existence as a separate entity. And the result is that mind and body, physically, so to speak, disappear. And the only thing that remains is being, which is at once existence and non existence, and not explainable in words or ideas. A master cannot help being perpetually in this state, which only this difference that in some to us incomprehensible way, he can use mind, body, and intellect too, without falling back into the delusion of having a separate consciousness. Religion. It is useless to speculate, useless to try, and take a mental or intellectual grasp and work from that. That is only religion, a code for children and for social life, a guide to help us to avoid shocks, and that the inside fire may burn up the nonsense in us and teach us a little sooner common sense, that is, a knowledge of the delusion of separateness. Religion, whether it be Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Theosophy, or any other kind of ism or sophy or system, can only take us to the one point where all religions meet and no further. God. That one point where all religions meet is the realization that in no mystical sense, but in the most worldly and everyday sense, and the more worldly and everyday and practical, the better, of the fact that God is everything and everything is God. From this point, the work of the practice of this mental comprehension begins, and all it amounts to is the breaking of a habit. One has to cease calling things things and must call them God, and instead of thinking them to be things, must know them to be God. Instead of imagining existence to be the only possible, must realize that this phenomenal existence is only the creation of the mind, that non existence is a necessity if you are going to postulate existence. The knowledge of things only shows the existence of an organ to cognize. There are no sound to deaf, nothing to see for the blind, and the mind is merely an organ of conception or of appreciation of certain sides of God. God is infinite, and therefore existence and non existence are merely component parts. Not that I wish to say God is made up of definite component parts. It is hard to be comprehensive when talking of God. True knowledge comes from within and not from without, and true knowledge is not knowing but seeing.
Thank you so much, Dipali. I'm very grateful for all of you. In spite of the voice issues, you have all been very patient. This read up was really inspirational because this reminded me of Helen Keller and her life that was as black as anything. And what was made out of it was superb. So the truth has really no voice, and there is no sermon to give, and there is nothing not to be got. So this discussion in the book really pointed towards the true knowledge or the jnana actually emerging from the depths of one's being and not from borrowed resources like the way we are used to right now, with a lot of spamming from information resources on social media teaching us a lot of spirituality, but actually that's only borrowed wisdom, and the true illumination has to come from within the heart. Thank you very much, Dipali, for this read. And I would now request Virendra ji to share his book read. Virendra ji, are you here with us? Uh, just give us a moment, we will get him. So Virendra ji has excused himself. He is a bit busy. So we've had some book readings, and the next few minutes, I would want it to be an interactive session. Any of you who wishes to share anything about their experience with Bhagwan, we have around 10 minutes, so we can have two speakers to speak for at least 5 minutes each. So please raise your hands and we will admit you and unmute you so that you can speak. We are so many people here and we all actually feel many things. I know that. So why not take this opportunity to just speak? It's okay. There's no architecture to anything. You just have to flow with the emotion. Use this opportunity, please. Raise your hands. Okay. Uma Velu can speak. Uh,
Am
Uma
I
ji,
Yes, am I
unmute yourself. Yes, you are audible. You are audible.
great? Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Bhagwan, I've never read or known Bhagwan at all until a couple of years back. I was in a different country. I have a special needs son, and I was going through a difficult time at that moment. And I remember one day I was sitting and praying in silence, asking for some answers from God to guide, to help me.
Uma ji, could you be a little bit more louder, please?
Oh,
Little
can you?
bit more.
Oh, okay. Is it better?
Yes, a little more would be absolutely amazing.
Okay, that's some accent
Yes.
from.
Yeah,
Is
that's
it
good. That's great. That's great. Please go on.
Okay. So Bhagwan is a very special thing to me. Years ago, I've never read or known Bhagwan at all at that time. I have a son with autism, and I was going through a difficult time then. I remember one day sitting and praying to God, asking for guidance and help, and somehow suddenly in my prayer, Bhagwan appeared. At that time, I didn't know it was him. His image was there, and some answers were given to my prayer. I accepted, and I had no idea who it was, but I thanked God. And later, when I came back to Malaysia for a holiday, I came across his book, and I realized, okay, this is Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi. And after that, I read a few of his books. It's beyond words. Of course, then when I was reading, it was quite emotional, but not much of understanding. Later on, until now, I still reflect some of his words in silence when I'm in the nature, thinking nothing. Lots of better, deeper understandings come through him. So that's beautiful, really. So I'm still learning, I'm listening, I'm accepting, receiving. I think silence is so beautiful, and I'm so happy that Dr. Pallu is doing all this. Thank you. That's from my side.
Thank you so much, Umaji. Your experiences are deeply moving. Each one of us has got one unique connection. And when we share that with all of us, then we are inspired, and sometimes in our own isolation, we may be experiencing many things, but we have our mental doubts on still on the grace. But when we come out and share it, we also understand that others are also in the same zone of grace. So it's not like a mental hoopla. We are not having delusions and hallucinations of grace, but it's actually happening to us. That's the idea of having this platform, so that we can encourage and have this satsang where we can share our blessings. That's all. So thank you, Maji, for your sharings. And next I would request Shanti ji to please share her experience. Shanti ji, please unmute yourself and speak.
Hello, everyone. Ma'am, actually, there is not a big experience like so many people. Like you said, no, before the initial stage of the meeting, you said your experience. That and all, when I hear, no, I am totally inspired. But in my experience, I am trying to practice this thing. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. That with no mind, body, conscious. I'm trying to practice the teachings of Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi. Recently, I have come to this path. So, like you all says, my experience is not that much, but I want to, practice more, go deeper and deeper into this, being myself. That's all I want to say. That's all, ma'am. Because see, for 1 or 2 days, if I practice like I am not the body, I'm not the mind, constantly, while doing all my household work, I used to be in myself, in my what Bhagavan said, no, that practice I'm doing, Atma Vicharam, they used to say, that I am practicing throughout the day. If I do that for 1 or 2 days, no, suddenly the third day I am pulled by the mind, the thought, vasanas, because of vasanas. So I am constantly trying to do the practice. Currently, I have nothing to say that this is my experience, no, but I am willing to do that with the blessings of Bhagavan. That's all, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Shanti ji. And I would like to say here that your experience is nothing short of being magical. In today's samsaric world, where everybody is just thinking all the time about gathering money, here you are trying to practice Atma Vichara through your household duties. I
Yes,
think
ma'am.
this is absolutely indicative of a great sadhak inside you. So nothing is small, short, or unaccomplished. Every effort that you are making is being recorded and reconciled and rewarded. Please do not belittle your experience. Keep trying, and surely with Bhagwan's grace, you will have many episodes of explosive illuminations where you will be able to see the self, witness the self as like a mirror image. And I hope that that image also fuses as single one, because there is no observer in this silence, nothing to be observed, and no observation also. But that's a very advanced experience which comes with continuous practice. Atma Vichara is not a practice that can be done by just doing 2 hours of meditation and that's the end of the scene. You pack up your bags and leave. No, it doesn't
Yes, ma'am,
happen
I
like that.
understand. Yeah, throughout the day,
Yes,
continuously.
yes.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
With every thought, Bhagwan inspires us to go within and ask who
Yes.
is the one who is experiencing this thought. So thought to thought, moment to moment, that is the
tune this
razor
thought
sharp
about.
edge practice of Atma Vichara, which others around you may not even notice anything that's happening to Shanti ji. They may just take you as a very normal person walking through life and doing the things, but internally you will know how much deeper you will experience things when you are doing it moment to moment.
Yes,
So it's
ma'am.
a
Yes,
great act of courage, and I wish you all the best, that you may have lots of grace on your path. I will now request Hitesh ji to share his experience. Kindly unmute yourself, Hitesh ji, and please share.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Am I audible properly?
Yeah, we would love to see you also, in case you can please put on your camera.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I would be mixing my language, English and Hindi, I think, because I'm not so good at either of them. So, मेरा नाम हितेश मोदी है, मैं मुंबई से बोल रहा हूँ. Actually, Bhagwan was introduced to me, my family, and people like us in Mumbai through Mr. Sharad Hazare. He is from Dombivali, and we always took him always as a guru, and for us he was Ramana Maharshi in Mumbai, and he himself had a experience in the sense he visited Ramana Maharshi when in his younger days, and Ramana Maharshi had put his hand blessing on his head. So जब भी वो हमको ये बताते थे ना, तो हम we used to get transferred all the way to the, I will come to my experience. There are a lot of intangible experiences, but एक tangible experience ये हुआ हमारे साथ कि मैं और मेरा फैमिली उनके फैमिली के साथ हम निकल पड़े थे तिरुवन्नमलाई जाने के लिए. तो उस टाइम पे हम लोग बैंगलोर गए थे और वहां से बस पकड़ के इट वाज ऑलमोस्ट ह्यूज लॉन्ग जर्नी ऑफ अराउंड 6 to 7 hours, एंड दैट वाज वेरी टायरसम. तो हम तो थक चुके थे और आई हैड जस्ट वी हैड अराइव्ड एट भगवान्स प्लेस, और वी यूज्ड टू टेल आवर गुरु बाबा, बिकॉज इन मराठी हम आजोबा मतलब अवर ग्रैंडफादर, चलो ओल्ड हॉल को में जाके हम एक बार दर्शन कर लेंगे, फिर तुम आराम करो अगर करना है. तो हम ओल्ड हॉल में गए और भगवान के कोच के पास जाके दंडवत प्रणाम किया, एंड आई वाज बैक टू माय प्लेस वेयर वी वर अलॉटेड द रूम. उस इतना नींद आ रहा था क्योंकि थक गए थे, तो मैं तो सो गया. करीब 2-3 घंटे सोने के बाद जब भी मैं उठा, तो सडनली आई फेल्ट लाइक माय वेट हैज गॉन अवे. मेरा शरीर ऐसा लगा कि कोई किसी ने 4-5 किलो वजन उठा निकाल लिया है मेरे से. आई फेल्ट सो लाइट. और तभी उसके बाद में कुछ समय के बाद मुझे मालूम पड़ा जैसे कि मेरी पास्ट बैगेज कहीं ना कहीं चले गई. मेरा मतलब जो भी मन में, और आई कुड फील ए लाइटनेस इन माय हार्ट पार्ट ऑफ माय बॉडी. So that is one thing really I would like to share with you all, and I know that there is a limitation of the time. I won't go further on this. So this is what I would like to share with all of you, and I really thank you for taking this initiative. और ये हम सब साथ में मिलके कुछ ना कुछ हम आगे जावे, एक दूसरे को हम सपोर्ट करते रहे, और ये बहुत बढ़िया लगा. Thank you so much. I'll close my.
थैंक यू सो मच हितेश जी, बहुत शुक्रिया, आपने इतना हार्टफेल्ट अपना एक्सपीरियंस हम सबके साथ शेयर किया. We may be having many gurus in our lifetime other than Shri Bhagwan. Many of us here are having our own guru sampradayas and having our own gurus, but I also have a couple of other gurus, I would say, like Neem Karoli Baba. But what I experience with Bhagwan is that he has given me that complete freedom and space. So whichever guru, enlightened master, being of light I experience, I see मुझे सब में भगवान की शक्ल नजर आती है. I don't know, I sometimes get delusions. I do like this and I wave my hand and I say, no, this is not Bhagwan, this is Neem Karoli Baba. Then I am shown that they are one only. So we may be having many gurus, but these saints like Shri Bhagwan are the universal guru tattva actually. They will trick you into coming into their ambit by introducing many physical gurus into our life, who will then reveal their true identity to be the self, which you can call Shri Bhagwan by his name or whatever. But the self is essentially the Nirakar principle. It is not restrained to any name or to form or to anything. So in my experience, I really enjoy this wonderful freedom that my guru has given me, and says, you go, you practice what you want to do. You want to do some spiritual gymnastics, go what you want, wherever you want to go. Anyways, you are only coming towards me. So whichever path you take, I am the one who is going to be there at the end. You are going to be finding me. So all our gurus are beautiful beings of light, are reflections of our own self, pure self, that come to us when we are prepared in a certain spiritual level and we encounter them, and then we have explosions of grace coming to us through them. So anybody else who wants to share their experiences? Okay. So I guess we are also reaching the time limit for our meeting. And essentially this is called as silent meetings. So we do have to respect and practice the Mauna principle. I think there is somebody who wants to share their experience. Okay. Okay, Vimala ji wants to share her experience. So before we go into silence, she'll be the last speaker for today. Vimala ji, please share.
Namaskar to all of you. I'm from Bangalore, and this is the first time I'm attending this meet. As a matter of fact, 3 days ago, just like you just now said, Bhairav, you're Bhairavi, I think, Bhairav, okay. I didn't get your name. Okay.
Pallavi, I'm Pallavi.
Pallavi, yeah, because there's Bhairav on the screen. Okay, Pallavi. Yeah. Pallavi, what happened? Like you said, one guru leads to the other, right? I'm a very big devotee of Shirdi Sai. And 3 days ago, I have a very beautiful picture of him on the wall. And whatever I want to, I have a deep conversation with him. I fight with him. I laugh with everything I do, So I was just walking across and I felt that his whole face changed into Ramana Maharshi's face, So I just stood, I said, why have you become Maharshi today? What is your problem? What are you doing? And I went passed away. It happened 3 days. And last night, one of your devotees, Indradeep Dey, he sends me this connection and he says, please attend this. It's happening in Bangalore. So do attend this program. And I went back and asked him, oh, this is what you wanted me to do, is it? Attend another saint's program. Okay, fine, I'm going to attend it, and that's how I am here today. I have a lot of miracles of Sai that has happened to me. And this is where I have connected with you people. And I hope I will, become one with all of you and be able to do more and more sessions. Yeah. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk. Yeah. Thank you very much. I think so Sai has just led the way. So I hope, he wanted me to be here and I'm here. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Vimla ji. Shirdi Sai Baba is not any different from Sri Bhagwan. The Karuna principle, the compassion is so deep, so powerful, so transformational, so silent, so pure. So that's why I think probably in your own purity reflection, you saw in your own Guru, Sri Bhagwan. There are multiple and numerous episodes of people across the world having seen Sri Bhagwan in their visions, in their dreams, in books that have fallen off racks. And there is no end to the amount of ways that these forces actually get us to connect to them. So if we can honor that connection and follow the lead, just like you did, you followed the lead, you did not give up on it, thinking it to be mere coincidence. You took this up seriously and you made it a decision to come here and even share this beautiful experience. So you have sown a seed of a tiny little new seed of devotion inside your psyche, which is going to blossom and erupt into a big tree. And you should continue to keep sharing experiences, even though you may feel very doubtful about them. The mind is always giving us many, many doubts. It will not let you trust your own devotional experiences, dismissing them as pure, kind of, like a pure, it may be just a coincidence that I may have encountered, but these are actually stepping stones. We are actually taking some tiny steps towards this mighty lamppost of, this sun actually of grace that is beckoning us. Aajao. So wo thoda, it is giving you trails to follow. If you are sensitive, aware, and pure, then you will catch that trail and, move towards the light. But if you are very intellectual, then you will say, nahi, hata do, ye norm, ye to aise hai, ye to koi hallucination hai mere dimag ka. How can Shirdi Sai Baba be the same as Ramana Maharishi? One will just have gone bonkers, but you know that with your inner chakshu, you have seen them to be one. So that is a very deep spiritual experience, I'd say. Okay. Thank you very much. And I would just like to again take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Virendra ji, his family, Sandeep ji, and we have just 2 minutes actually left for this meeting to close, but still I would request that we spend the next 10 minutes in silence, because that is the way that we will assimilate our learnings. It's not just by sharing or by reading. And that is the primary modus operandi of Sri Bhagwan's teachings. So silence or Mona. This meeting will auto dissolve itself after 10 minutes. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Namo Ramana.